Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's a guy who's here to talk about a season of Big Brother that is going on currently at the moment. I am Rob Sesternino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back live here Wednesday night, Zingbot night here on the 23rd of September. Got a lot to talk about here tonight. And a lot to talk about Big Brother wise in an episode where the Zingbot came to visit us. We got a great panel to discuss all things Big Brother here. Let's welcome back a man who was shot out of a cannon on the LFC roundtable last night. Here is Brent Walgmont. Brent, how are you?
As always, that's usually the time I'm shot out of a cannon, although I'm not necessarily exclusive to that. I often have something to say, and Tuesday last night was no different, Rob.
Yeah, you're like Memphis coming out of the diary room.
Yeah. Boom! I got something to say!
Yeah. All right. Well, Brent, I have a lot of theories that I want to talk about tonight, and so I'm very glad you're here. I feel like that this is your wheelhouse.
All right. I like it when it's in my wheelhouse, because otherwise I sound like an idiot.
Okay. All right. Happy to have back here with us to talk about everything that's going on in the Big Brother house. And it is just about Libra season. So perfect timing for Jenny Autumn. Jenny, how are you?
I'm great, Rob. It is actually already officially Libra season.
Yes. Is it the first day of autumn today?
Yesterday, actually.
Ooh.
The sun entered Libra yesterday around 1:30 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
So
Not
we are
Libra from Big Brother 10.
No, that's a different season.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm happy to be here. This is my time. I'm here to thrive. So I spent some time recently writing some roasts about you and Akiva.
Boom, roasted.
And so I feel like I'm, you said this is Brent's wheelhouse, but I feel like this episode was my wheelhouse with the zings. I have some feelings about them. So
okay, good. Well, happy to have you back here with us here tonight. And then also joining us tonight, very excited to have back with us. She is one of the stars of Sequester Season 2. Here is Serena Foster. Serena, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rob. This is the most excited I've been since the premiere episode of this season of Big Brother. Love Zingbot.
Okay. Oh, good. I didn't know you were a big Zingbot person.
Of course. I love a good roast.
Okay. All right. And Serena, what a great shirt you have tonight on the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I think I have the same one.
I didn't know, but my mom got me this. So, you and my mom have similar tastes.
Okay. That's what every guy wants to hear. All right. So... we got a lot to get to here tonight. Happy to have you here with us. I've got a question thread up on Twitter if you want your questions in the show for tonight. But a little bit of some unusual circumstances going on in the world of Big Brother here over these last 20 hours or so. If anybody wants a live feed update, we don't need Taryn here to tell you there's been no update. There's been no feeds.
Womp,
Brent,
womp.
how many hours are we at right now without any word from the Big Brother house?
We are at 18 hours and counting at the moment that the feeds have been down. And I have to say that, when the feeds were down for about 7, 8, 9 hours, like especially, in the middle of the night, I was not concerned. I thought, maybe they're just leaving them off for the night. If they had a wall yeller, which they've had recently, I thought that would be par for the course for this season. However, when the feeds didn't come back on in the morning, I was more concerned. And now that the feeds haven't come back on through the afternoon, and it's now, 6:30 Big Brother time, and the feeds still aren't on, something is awry, and I am concerned.
Well, we will not spoil the live feeds other than to say, hey, the live feeds are not on. So normally we would give you a live feed update later on in the show. But here tonight, I think what we should do is let's talk about this situation. What could the possible reasons be? What should we be expecting? And then we'll talk about what's going on with the episode. So I worked it out too. I have at least 5 different possible theories of what's going on. I'd like to talk those through and talk about whether or not this is a possible. Are we buying that this could be it? Serena, I want to start with theory number 1. Tech issues.
No.
It's not working. It's not. They're not with the live feeds that they have gone kaput.
No, I don't think so. Unless
Call
there's
the tech guy.
some kind of industrial revolution happening in LA right now, where they've got big magnets that cancel out all of the electronics.
Or like Breaking Bad, you think that the wall yellers might have got a giant electromagnet and are outside the house trying to erase all the footage.
Yeah, I don't really believe in the wall yellers that much. I don't think they're that capable. Not yet.
I thought you were saying like you don't believe the wall yellers exist.
Oh, no,
I was like,
no.
no, this is a conspiracy theory.
Praise the wall yellers. Thank you for the drama this season.
Okay. All right. So tech issue. Okay. Probably not. Probably unlikely. Has
that ever happened? Have we ever had that confirmed in any previous seasons? I guess we wouldn't know if they just went down for a little while, whether they were tech issues.
The internet is out.
I mean, it's happened to you, and
it's happened. Look, it does happen.
You have a podcast for a living, so it does happen.
Yeah. What do? Maybe did they unplug the router and plug it back in? Perhaps. Okay. All right. So so it's probably not that. Let's talk about theory number 2. Okay.
Yes.
Brent, we know that the house guests are tested weekly for COVID, and there's no reason to believe that any of the house guests would have had any sort of a positive test for COVID, but we did see earlier this year where Big Brother Canada 8 ended up having a lot of problems on the other side of the production in terms of the people behind the scenes. Is it possible that we could be dealing with a COVID issue?
That is certainly within the realm of possibility. I would like to think that it is not what is happening. I mean, I think I just don't want to confront that possibility because after what happened on Big Brother Canada 8, but I have to think that the world is crazy enough. Look, 2020 just all around sucks. So this would just be par for the course, honestly, if something happened with the health of the house guests or with production.
Again, I think it's very unlikely that it would, and this is, the rampant speculation part of the show, but it seems very unlikely that anybody in the house would be having an issue. But is it possible that the production is dealing with an issue in terms of people that work on the show? Yeah,
it's certainly possible. I mean, my understanding of the way that the production was going was that there were 3 different teams of production, and they were in 2 weeks, and then they were at home 2 weeks, and then they were back in the bubble for 2 weeks, and they just kept going on that sort of a schedule. And it wouldn't take much for something to go awry in that whole assembly line that they have going there at CBS. I would like not to think so. I would like to go with the number 3s, 4, and 5 of your
okay. Well,
your conspiracy theories, Rob.
Jenny or Serena, any thoughts on could there be a issue with COVID?
There can always be an issue with COVID. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's really hard to say. I have to think that they've got people that can come run the feeds if someone gets sick, but I understand that, certain precautions, like Brent was saying, with like the certain crews and the bubbles that they're in, that it might be more complicated then, Skippy is sick and he's calling out today. Let's bring in, Skipper. So it could be more complicated than that, but I have to think that, a staffing issue isn't necessarily going to cause a complete outage like this, with nothing coming back, at least for a little bit. So I don't think that's the case. Now, this is no real Vegas for sure, but
something?
Well, no, there is the spoiler account at Spoiler Girl 1.
I love Spoiler Girl, but I feel like that she's not always right.
Well, she definitely isn't. And so that's why, take this with a grain of salt. But she apparently, got in touch with her contact. She's been busy with the soaps. So that's always her thing. She's like, oh, I'm distracted by the soap operas.
Yes.
As one often, gets distracted by the Bold and Beautiful. She said that, probably going better at this point. She said that no one has tested positive, and that's all she can say.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, good.
She's always leaving us looking for more, but apparently, according to Spoiler Girl 1,
scintillating.
No one.
Where can you get this sort of news, Jenny? I tell you. I ask you.
All right, good. Well, that we are very happy to hear that that's the case. Okay.
I hope
All
that's
right.
the case.
Yes.
Everyone's
Yes, we do. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
all right. The next two potential theories have to do with the wall yeller. Brent, now, were there reports of a wall yeller shortly before the feeds went down?
My understanding is yes. I was in the middle of a round table last night, so I believe that there was a wall yeller shortly before. I think the rumor is somebody said something about like trying to get across to Davonne that Nicole actually voted Ian out of the house. But I don't think anybody heard it, or at least we don't know if they heard it. I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. Like, I didn't think they heard the thing the first time, and then they certainly did hear the thing about Nicole and Cody having a final two. So who knows? But
Okay.
that's still not where I'm at. I don't think it's that either.
All right. So, Serena, my third theory is wall yeller happened, and then could there have been a fight in the house between maybe Devon and Nicole, which ended up getting so heated that there was a bigger issue in the house where somebody is removed from the game?
I would hate to see. I hope if there's a bigger issue in the house with a fight, it's somebody else, two of the boys or something.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it escalating to the point where Nicole would get it. I mean, I imagine she would probably be the one that would get hit or something, but I think she would just
or quit,
cry enough to leave the situation.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
don't think it's there.
If things are getting potentially violent, we shouldn't rule out Christmas.
I know, right? I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
yes.
Especially
I'm just
even
gonna
the
say
Zingbot knew it. Even the Zingbot knew it.
Yeah.
That's certainly a possibility. That who knows? My fourth theory is because wall yeller happened. Jenny, are we being punished? Did Big Brother say, you know what? No live feeds now.
I'll give you nothing to yell about. I mean, it's possible. I don't really know at this point. And even if this is what the topic of the wall yelling was at this point, like, what is that going to solve? If you're telling Davonne, she's like, the veto has happened, the veto meeting has happened. What is Davonne going to gain from, finding out that Nicole voted out Ian at this point?
Mm-hmm.
So that aside, I mean, you'd think that if anything, instead of punishing us, that maybe they're just focusing their manpower or human power on better security to somehow thwart these like attempts. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like, number one, this is an all-star season, so people are especially invested in their favorites, and number two, like, the horse is out of the barn on this one. Like, I mean, I really like I was laughing in the beginning. The first time we got a wall yeller with the Cody and Nicole thing, I was totally laughing about it. I was I'm on record on the LFC roundtable saying, like, I was more pro wall yeller because I was really sick of the season at that point. Spoiler alert, it has not changed since then. I never thought that it would become a thing. I just thought it was like a one-time thing because we always get one a season. There's always some wall yeller, some part of the season, in every season of Big Brother. And, it's their own damn fault where they put the goddamn house. They put it right there next to a highway, and people drive past all the time. So if they don't want wall yellers, they're going to have to do something about it because...
they're not yelling from the highway.
I mean, like, across the highway. It's within earshot that with someone with a megaphone can get a message across to the house guests. And if they don't want that, they're going to have to do something, put some money into the house, and move it. But that is still not the theory that I have, Rob.
Okay.
I have a different
Serena,
theory.
are you buying that we're punished?
I feel punished, certainly. I don't think I personally did anything wrong, but I really did enjoy the first wall yeller, like Brent said.
Yeah.
I was bored, and that's not my fault. And the fact that wall yellers keep showing up is also not my fault. And so CBS, get it together. Get a line of security guards. I don't care what you got to do. 6 feet apart. Here we go. I should be punished.
Yeah, what other shows are taping right now? Get some security people out there.
Yeah. Brent, maybe Big Brother should be like The Price is Right, where there's like an audience of people that just yell things out constantly. And then you sort of like look to the crowd, like, who should I put up on the block? Like, Nicole.
That's the thing. I'm totally with you. Kat from last season tweeted out that she's totally in favor of wall yellers 24/7 all the time, because then it would be on the house guests to determine who's telling the truth and who's not. Like if you like had fans, like, you like literally have a walkway where fans could walk past and yell stuff right into the backyard. They don't even need a microphone or a megaphone. They can just do it whenever they want. I'm totally in favor of this. I'd like to see one season where people just there's literally no secret that you can keep because somebody's going to expose it right away. I think that would be fascinating to watch.
This reminds me of like the sequester mini round with the secrets where you're like trying to strategize and there's just like random like rumors being shouted and it's very distracting and like some of them are just BS.
Yes, I heard Jenny thinks she's running the game.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Like they could just have that going all the time and it's up to the players to discern what could be real and what's fake. Adds a whole new element to the game, and it's going to block out any potential real wall yellers.
All right. Let me give you theory number 5. Okay. Theory number 5. Okay.
Yes.
The house guest or the neighbor twist has begun, and they are doing something in terms of the neighbor.
That was one of my theories. Yes, that the neighbor twist, that Dr. Will or somebody is in the house and they are doing America's wishes. And
I don't think that they're going to be in the house. I don't think that
they're next door.
Somebody,
but I don't mean literally in the house. I mean on the lot is what I'm saying. They're next door, and I'm hoping that they have a power that they can do to save Davonne or save Kevin or save somebody because. We need saving.
Can we talk about the neighbor at this time since it's come up?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about how Don Wallman or whoever it is at the end of the show.
Oh, you want to hear the tease for tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even hear it. I'm sorry.
Let me play this for you. And I think that this is some evidence that the show is not canceled because there was no special announcement. Now, maybe they didn't want to alarm everybody and they're going to tune in tomorrow night. We'll find out that everybody has left. But here's the closing announcement for tomorrow night.
Who will be the next All-Star sent to the jury house? Kevin or Davonne? Plus, a BB legend returns to the game to kick off a new twist. All this live tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central on Big Brother.
Okay. And so let me just add this. Is it possible that we are taping a Thursday night eviction that will not be live, and say you do have like a real wild card like Dr. Will, you don't know what he's going to say on live TV if he is involved with this. Do we want to tape it a night ahead?
I mean, they've done the tapings this season, which they've never done before. So it would not surprise me if they opted to tape it. This would be the first time, to my understanding, that they taped something in advance. Obviously, every year at like the Final Five, they tape an episode.
Yeah, that's sort of scenario.
Yes. But this season they have not done that so far, but they certainly could. It's certainly within the realm of possibility. And of the theories on the table, it is the one that I am most in favor of. I also thought that COVID had mutated, like in that movie, and the zombies are around the Big Brother house, and production is nowhere to be found.
Zombies,
the house guests have no
and
idea
they have
what's happening.
megaphones.
Yes.
The zombies have megaphones. They're yelling.
And the ants.
I mean, it says a legend returns to the game. So
did they say that? Okay,
it says,
let's hear that one more time.
Let's go again.
Who will be the next All-Star sent to the jury house? Kevin or Davonne? Plus, a BB legend returns to the game to kick off a new twist. All this live tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central on Big Brother.
Jenny, you don't think that they could be a player, do you?
I mean, it's maybe not a player from this season returning, but It could be. It's the word return.
America's
and player. Please let it be Eric Stein. So it is a player, and they return. So whether they've played a long time ago, this season, I feel like we now have the clarity that they are a human, not Zingbot.
Yeah, not
who we
Zingbot.
saw tonight.
It can't be. Rule out Zingbot. It's not Zingbot.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely not Zingbot. But it could, like, I'm trying to think. I know people are like, oh my God, it's Janelle.
It could be.
It literally could be. Like, who the hell knows?
Like, they've had house guests go in the house before and, not be able to say anything. Like, the house guests go into the house. They know outside info, but they're team players. They're company people, and they will not.
When did this happen?
Like, it's happened. I know it's happened before. I know it's happened. Talk to somebody else and I'll tell
Did
you.
it happen in your dream?
It happened. No. It happened. It's
people host the
it
competition.
Yeah, like when they host competitions and people come in.
I guess when they host competitions, they come in.
Like they had freaking Caitlin Herman, her big mouth, come in, and she kept her mouth shut about what was happening last season. So come on.
I mean, they had Rachel come back with the Pandora's box situation.
Yes.
The same season that she was in. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility to have a player of the season return. But it could be any player.
Yeah, people. I see people in the chat talking about Rachel and Big Brother 12. But Rachel came from the jury house, and she just came back into the house. She wasn't watching the show.
Yeah, which is why I think that if it is going to be someone that is removed from, like being sequestered at least, that it's got to be, somewhat of a very controlled environment, aka the neighboring house.
Yeah, and remember, they're not even in the house. They're in the neighbor. They're not even on the lot. I mean, in the house, in the bubble. Necessarily. They might be outside the bubble. They might be in their own little studio or something, and just be like televised in or something. So,
but the fact that
it could be Janelle. In fact, I think it is.
The fact that they've told us, and Julie told us last Thursday that this was going to play out on Thursday. There was a point where I was like, oh, it's Zingbot and Julie is just confused about her days and didn't realize that it would be airing on Wednesday. Yeah. But I'm now back with this feed outage. I'm now back to thinking that theory number 5 is the most accurate, and it has something to do with this returning player twist, and we're gonna find out on tomorrow's episode, and that they want to give us some sort of surprise. They've heard the wall yellers and the Twitter yellers that we're bored. So maybe they want to give us some sort of surprise.
Serena, I want to get your reaction. What do you think of this theory?
This is the most reasonable, I think, other than I do really still feel like I'm being punished. But I don't if it were to be Janelle, I'm just like thinking about all the TikToks she's been making recently with her daughter. And I'm just like, is it really Janelle? I hope it's Rachel. I don't know if she's popped that kid out yet or not, but
she has not. Rachel has not given birth.
It's like baby bump Rachel coming in to like yell at everybody to like get their shit together.
Listen,
I mean, honestly,
it's Rachel, Brittany, or Janelle. It's one of those 3 people. Period. End of story.
Why Brittany? I love Brittany. I'm just like, that's the first time anyone has theorized Brittany, so that was why I was curious.
I mean, they love her, and
but I think it makes more sense to be someone. It's either like, if it's not someone from this season, I think it makes more sense to be someone from the area, right? Like where Rachel makes sense, but maybe not Brittany. I don't know. Rachel has been outspoken about the fact that she would have played on the season if she was physically cleared to do. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her in some capacity if the offer was made to her. We all know Rachel would never say no, even if she's ready to bust. So. That was graphic. Sorry.
I want labor on Thursday.
Serena,
maybe that's what happened.
Maybe. Okay, what
maybe the neighbor twist went wrong.
Oh no!
And we had a baby.
Yeah. Serena, so forget who it is. What will the neighbor do? How will this impact the game? I mean, it doesn't seem like they're just hosting a comp.
What do neighbors do? They spy on you. They talk shit about you. Sometimes you have nice ones, and they bake you apple pie. Maybe it's just like the
Sweetie,
merge.
your block sounds so interesting.
Yeah, where I grew up, there was nice ones across the street,
They
and then
spy on you?
the ones next door called the cops on us. So it was really a mixed bag there.
Wow.
Maybe they'll be like making it'll be like a merge feast or something. Like, oh, I'm just coming over with my cookies. I don't know.
I love that like Serena's neighbors like baked apple pies, and like one of my earliest neighbor memories were like these two little shithead kids that would throw crab apples onto our yard. Like not the same kind of apple.
Was the shithead kid. That's the problem. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'd love to explore everybody's neighbor stories a little bit more, but we should talk about tonight's episode as we will wait and see what happens. There could be potentially no updates until after Thursday's episode, or potentially ever. We don't know.
We don't know. I will say that based on that description from Don, I do feel like that Devon or Kevin, one of them is probably out, and then we're going to get the twist. I'm really hoping that the twist comes before that, but based on the way he said it, it feels like that they're going to be evicted, and then we're going to get the twist.
Yeah. Is it possible that the eviction could have already happened?
It is possible.
Like had like the old like Final Five thing of like house guests, wake up, it's time for we're doing the eviction now.
It's definitely possible, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, all right.
There's no audience.
Have we ruled out a twist involving like Ian as the first juror being included based on like exit press, or because I mean he hasn't done the same level of he's sequestered, so like if the twist could potentially involve Ian and Davonne presumably, or Kevin tomorrow, so I mean I don't necessarily know whether the twist wouldn't involve those two unless there's reason to believe that Ian's out of the running for any sort of.
They said a Big Brother legend returns to the house, or a Big Brother player returns to the house.
Unleash a new twist or something like that.
So I don't think it's Ian. I don't think. I think it's somebody from the past. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I don't think Ian's coming back. I'm just wondering, could it involve him still?
I mean, I still think there's the buyback this season, but yeah. I don't know.
All right. We'll see. All right. So let's get into this episode here tonight. We got Memphis's nominations. It was Davonne and it was Kevin, but Memphis had a plan. He wanted to backdoor David. He's so mean about David.
He just doesn't like him. I think that Memphis thinks that he earned his keep on Big Brother 10. He made the final 2. He worked his ass off to get to the final 2 and be brought back as an all-star. And this kid, David, in his eyes, was like there for an hour. Yeah. And in the game, at least. And then they brought him in. And so he was living for the fact that Zingbot zinged him about that.
Yeah, he loved it so much.
That certainly could have applied to other house guests as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be about all of them. But let's save the zings for a second. All right. So I was actually really blown away tonight because Davonne talked about how she was on the block, and I couldn't believe what she said. I had to listen to this 5 times. Here's Davonne.
Well, guess who's on the block? She.
I was like, oh my, boy, Dave, they're really letting Davonne get close to saying a bad word on the episode tonight. What's she saying? Like, guess I'm on the block. Shiz. And I listened to it like 5 times, and I realized
she.
No, she is. She is.
Now I hear it. I didn't hear it before. I was like, what's the joke? I don't hear it.
I'm on the block. I was like, yeah. Does Davonne watch The Wire? Like, this is
she.
Now I'm hearing that is she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She is on the block. Davonne. Okay. All right. Boy, Serena, are Davonne and Kevin friends goals?
No.
They're not.
I mean, maybe somebody's goal. I personally, I don't know. I would like to be friends with Davonne, but I don't know if I would want a friend. Not that I don't like Kevin, Wow, this is sounding really bad.
Yeah, that's quite the
Yeah.
testimonial, Serena. Please go on.
I think my friends are just more fun.
More
than
fun.
Than the two of them
But
combined.
what about the relationship,
Okay.
Serena? What about the actual friendship?
Yes, it's strong. It is connected. It is emotional.
Mhm.
And I don't like that in my friendships. I want them to be
Oh.
like here and then there, you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yes.
that's my own issue that I have to deal with my therapist. Okay. So.
Yeah. Jenny, I wish I had a friend like Kevin and Davonne. That it was just that relationship. It was so touching.
You don't feel like you have that?
I don't know.
You don't think that Akiva would cry for you?
You don't think
No.
Akiva would say, "You have made my dreams come true"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
guess.
so.
I mean, I loved that moment where like Kevin's like, "You've made my dreams come true," and Davonne covers her eyes and she's like, "I hate you so
I hate you.
much."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is truly beautiful, which is what everyone wants to hear back when they
Mhm.
pour their soul out and how much they mean to them.
Yeah.
I think that they're both just very emotional people. And I think that, I mean, trauma bonding is a thing. And I feel like these two have had a really rough road in this game. And whether they, necessarily would have come together and been great friends under other circumstances or not, I think that they've definitely been pushed together by being on the bottom, by being left out of things,
Yeah.
by being
lied to.
nominated,
Yes.
like by constantly being lied to by people in the house, and not always being right about who's lying to them.
Mhm.
So I think that has really bonded them together. It might not be like the same sort of, I mean, I think if you're looking at like a fun friendship, you're probably looking more at like Day and Bailey. I
Mhm.
think that was more of like a lighthearted, fun friendship. But I think that, it's been important for both of them at this stage of the game to find someone that they can put their trust into. And they've found that. And I thought, I mean, there's been a lot of like manufactured feeling segments of the season that I feel like, okay, well, here's the part where they're trying to like send a message that they like care about the meaningful moments that are happening in the house, which I think are important to show, but it just does seem a little bit manufactured to me. But this one was like another one where I felt like at least we're getting somewhat of a story of their friendship, because I don't feel like we got a lot of it up until the point where Devonne used the veto on Kevin. So at least we're getting a little bit more of the storyline of the two of them together on the block and their friendship. I thought it was sweet, but I'm also a softie. I'm not. I want my friend to cry for me and use the veto on me.
Brent, Kevin really did tweet about how it was Davonne was going to be an all-star.
Yeah, well, we all knew that. I mean, like, when they announced an all-star season, I knew that they had to invite back Davonne, and I'm glad Kevin co-signs that. I will say that I'm
But
also...
he tweeted it like 5 years ago.
I get that, but she was dynamite from the moment she walked into the house, even as the second boot, and then they asked her back, a season later on 18?
Mm-hmm.
Who does that happen to besides Francesca or whatever on Survivor? So, come on. Like, I will say that I'm with Jenny in terms of I love this. This is great. But I was more intrigued by what was happening between Devonne and David. That was more intriguing to me because friendship goals between Kevin and Devonne are awesome. And no, we haven't got to see a lot of them on the show. So that was nice that they got to show them on the show tonight. But I was really more living for what Devonne was serving in the diary room about David, because she is dead wrong.
Yes. It was a very ice cold read on poor David.
I mean, like, Serena, I don't understand how she can sit there and say, like, this guy has done me wrong. He has been sabotaging my game at every turn. Like, girl, number one, you're talking about yourself. Number two, you must be talking about Danny. Number three, you must be talking about Nicole, but you're not talking about David. David has not tried to actively sabotage your game. He's a bad player and you took that to mean that he was trying to sabotage your game, but he was not trying to actively sabotage your game. And the fact that you can't see it, that's on you.
Yeah, it's been honestly pretty disappointing as far as Davonne's reads. Almost the entire season, we really thought this was like
all the people that we thought had good reads do not have good reads. I want my money back.
Yeah, and it's and especially like
Has Devonne been right about anything yet?
Yeah, a few things.
There was a
like,
few. There must have been something. There was
Those things
something.
don't matter.
Plain as the nose on my face, obvious. Like, maybe if I stay,
no matter
I'll put
what,
Cody and Tyler up on the block.
She knew that Liz and Julia were not the same person.
Yeah.
One, they were not. They did not look exactly the same.
Thickums.
Yeah. she nailed that.
Nail polish.
She nailed that.
Yeah.
She nailed that. But it's not. It has not been It's been fun. It's been fun.
It has been fun. It's just disappointing that she like David is one of the few people in the house that really would have used the veto on her. She did not select him when she had house.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. That we had the double house guest choice comes up.
Yeah, how often does that happen?
Not often.
Danny and Nicole both get picked.
Yeah.
And Tyler, how many times has Tyler played in the veto?
Every single time except for when we get back door.
That's ridiculous. What is happening? I'm bored.
Yes.
I think he missed 1 week.
Yeah.
And he was always like, well, the 1 week I don't get to play in the vetoes, the 1 week I'm going to get backdoored. But he was actually like front doored that week. So whatever. Yeah.
So, David, Jenny, he's so upset that why didn't they pick me? It just proves they don't trust me.
I mean, yeah, they don't trust. I don't know if any other conversation has taken place where suddenly they believe him. David has basically had to accept that no one believes him. He is the scapegoat of the season.
But he makes it so easy, Jenny.
He absolutely does.
I don't understand how he can be a human being and not recognize that when you're talking to someone like Davonne and you're trying to get across like, hey, I didn't do this. And she's like, that you need to do something other than just accept it. Like, actually get mad. Like, show some passion. Yeah. Where are you, David?
Yeah, it's been said he's a bad liar and he's a worst truth teller.
Right?
He's really bad at it. And he needs to just tap into this passion. Like the only person that speaks slower than Zingbot is David.
Come on.
It's really tough to watch. And as much as I feel bad for him because, as we see throughout this episode, it is revealed he truly is on an island. And it would be a stupid move. Wasn't he in the running for that?
Yeah, right.
It might have worked out better for him. But he really is on his own here. And as much as I feel bad for him, I just think that he could have done so much more to fight for, like, if you know that you told the truth, do more to try to expose who didn't.
Yes.
Instead of just like, and kind of turtling in and getting emotional, like in an inward way. I just feel like he has done nothing to, and I don't know if he thinks that it's just self-preservation at this point, and Devon and Kevin are sinking ship anyway. So if they don't trust him, what does it matter? They are on the outs anyway. But he really did himself no favors.
But he's been like that all season, though. Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Do you feel like that is David? Does he like, man, it sucks that they don't believe me, but what do I need to get everybody else in the house mad at me to try to like really like point the finger at Nicole? What do I want to get myself in more hot water over this?
Especially when Memphis is HOH. Like, what is that? What are you going to gain from that at that point? Like, I really need to make the two people that are on the block believe me at this point. So
everybody else is in on it. They know it's only Devon and Kevin that don't believe me. Everybody else knows I actually am innocent.
Yeah.
Oh, before we move on, can we talk about the gaslighting that was happening in
when they started the fire?
No, when when the Cody and Nicole and Danny were all in the bedroom together, and they're talking about the fact that, I told Davonne, like, just don't use the veto on Kevin, and look what happened. Like, you're up on the block. She was getting put up on the block anyway.
Well,
the minute she won that veto,
who are you saying they were gaslighting? The Danny?
They each other. They're blowing smoke up each other's ass to make themselves feel less guilt about the fact that they're just lying their ass off to Davonne. Like, they literally are blowing smoke up each other's ass, Rob. Davonne, the minute she won the veto, they had an inkling of doubt about her. She was getting put on the block next week. Period. End of story. And I know I've been saying that a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Memphis is trying to tell people about the plan. Hey, we're going to backdoor David, everybody. That's going to be the move. Tyler doesn't like this plan. He thinks that there's a bigger target to go after.
Why would we not want to split up the power duo in Devon and Kevin?
Power duo.
Serena, the biggest power duo in the house, obviously. Kevin and Davonne.
Yeah. Poor Memphis. Like, his first HOH, I feel like he was really like running ship, and now Tyler really got in his head, as Tyler does. Amazing, beautiful, whatever. But Kevin and Davonne are not powering anything. They're not controlling anything. Even
powerless duo.
Literally, power turned off. Generators out of gas. Nothing is happening. It's just sad at this point, especially that conversation you see with Memphis and Kevin and Davonne, and you're like, if you don't watch the feeds, then you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. We're gonna backdoor David. But if you do watch the feeds, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This is not gonna work for you.
It's not gonna work. Jenny, in that conversation where Danny is finding out from Memphis about the plan to backdoor David, that this might just be I can't turn dad mode off. Danny is standing on the bed for no reason throughout this entire conversation. I don't know why. I've never had a conversation with somebody in a room where there's just standing on a bed. But I would be like, get down from there. Stop. Get off that bed.
Well,
why are you standing up there?
Honestly, the way that Memphis talks to his alliance and the way that they talk about him in the diary room feels like annoying dad. So I'm kind of surprised that Memphis wasn't, butting in to tell her to get off the bed. Like, listen, lady, you're gonna throw the veto and get your dirty feet off of that bed.
Get off that
Missy.
bed.
Was she wearing shoes? I know you Americans wear your shoes inside a lot, so this is
not
something
in bed.
Okay. They do on Love Island. It's weird.
Okay, well,
that's a whole other
they do
issue.
a couple things on Love Island. So
Jenny, hold on. Tell me this: is this a Canadian thing that you don't wear any shoes in the house?
Yeah. This is
part of Canadian. I feel like I talk to so many Canadians, and they don't tell. I wear shoes from the second I wake up till when I go to bed at night.
I have sandals on right now.
Yeah, I'm barefoot. I'm barefoot right now.
Aren't you cold?
Absolutely not. I hate socks more than anything in the world. Even in the dead of winter, when I get into my apartment, and I live in Canada, winter is cold here.
Hot-blooded.
The socks are coming off. Everything's coming off.
Whoa.
We don't wear shoes inside. We don't have indoor shoes like kindergartens. Like, this is not a thing in Canada.
I'm fascinated by this.
Yeah,
I can't believe that this is a cultural difference that has never been.
We'll have shoe talk. Okay.
It's one thing in like the Big Brother house when they're never truly outside. They're just going on to like AstroTurf. Like, that's fine. But in Canada, we don't come in and dilly dally with our shoes on.
All right.
All right. We're losing Brent. Okay, let's go and talk about the Zingbot is coming in. Okay, here he is, the Zingbot, and the Zingbot's theme. The Zingbot has been on quite a wild ride. I feel like that they sort of walked back the Zingbot narrative that has been going on. The 10-year. I mean, this is the 10-year anniversary of the Zingbot. Serena, we're with Tiger Zing, which was kind of more of a pun than anything.
Yeah, I can't really relate to this because I don't really like to watch things that people are like raving about. So I haven't seen Tiger King.
That's why you like Big Brother.
Especially this season, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I've seen the TikToks. My brother's obsessed, but Yeah, we get it. The mustache was cheap, and the zings
Mhm.
were okay though. I thought they were decent.
Yeah, but we didn't really do anything with other than Tiger Zing. Didn't do anything. It didn't talk about Carol Baskin or anything.
I mean, it's so on brand for Big Brother to be making a cultural reference like 6 months too late.
Mhm.
I feel like that's actually generous
Like
for
8.
Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like they're usually like a couple of years behind on the cultural references. So this is about as like they definitely have been talking about this being like we should do a Tiger King veto.
Yeah.
But nothing about it made sense to me as someone who did actually watch Tiger King, and I usually don't watch things. The outfits were just like zoo outfits, but they weren't even in the spirit of Tiger King. The like alien tigers, like what is it? It was just so
Yeah, they weren't
lazy.
Zingbot's like an astronaut kind of guy, like he's from space.
He's from another
maybe.
planet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
He's from
Okay,
planet
let's
Zing,
talk about
The
right?
animals were like, they fell out of the back of the truck. They were definitely rejected from
Mhm.
Walmart. The whole thing was just confusing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's run through the zings. We hear that the Zingbot has been he can't believe to see them here, especially David. David kind of got off easy.
I mean,
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of a little close to the heart on that one. So I don't know. I don't think David would say that he got off easy.
Yeah. Why was he upset, Brent?
He wasn't upset, but he was just like, ooh, that burned on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was most annoyed with Memphis, who was like, ha, 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 yeah, he doesn't belong here.
Right.
Loser.
when I'm pretty sure Memphis got the call later than David, which I think is like why part of the reason why he
I
is
agree with that.
so like annoyed by David's presence. Where
David
like,
was in the cast and Memphis was an alternate. He's like,
Mhm.
squeeze me?
yeah, you're a rookie.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
that is part of the reason why Memphis is just so.
Cody's zing was so lame.
Here, let's go in order. Let's go in order.
Oh, sorry.
here.
Okay, go in order.
Memphis was up next, and
Yes.
Memphis. Most people think of you as Dan's number 1, but you're more of a number 2.
Shit.
Yeah. But I thought that the funniest part of that, and I think that the better than the zings were like some of the reactions from the diary room. Here's David reacting to Memphis's zing.
Man, Memphis is a piece of. He is a big number 2. I'm going to go to my HOH room. Can't use my shower.
I didn't know David did impressions.
Right?
And did David try to take a shower in Memphis's HOH room?
Oh, God. That
That's
was
brave.
funny.
We need more of that, David.
Yes, yes. America's favorite player, David.
It made me love David more when he did the grumpy Memphis voice. Like, I was like, because, like, again, he does not have a lot of emotional range. This guy, David. The fact that if he acted like this in the house, it would be good.
He needs to tap into that irritability when trying to pitch that he didn't lie.
Right?
Brent, I heard you and Melissa on the LFC roundtable last night about that. You have no one to root for. I'm telling you that he's your man, David.
It's so tough for me to root for him when
Why?
he's so bad at the game. Like if he
How
I feel
funny would that be if he won?
That's the thing. I don't like my winners to be funny. I like my winners to be like worthy or at least good ambassadors for Big Brother. Maybe
How
he
mad
could be.
would Memphis be on finale night
That
if
would be
David is the
funny.
winner?
That would be fun. Well, that might
It's
be
worth it for that alone,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Get on
Especially
board,
if he
Brent.
loses in final 2 to David. Like that
Yeah.
is chef's kiss. Like
Wow.
David Train. It's
Yeah.
happening. Okay. Yeah. It's happening, everybody. Get on board. All
I'm
right.
trying to get on board with David because I
Train's
do feel
leaving
like
the
he's gonna be.
station.
I do think he's going to be here for a little while. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay. All right. Then, Cody, you're a perfect 10, but enough about your IQ.
Yeah.
there's always the low-hanging fruit intelligence one. I feel like we've heard other versions of this
Yeah.
one.
But Cody actually really is like, he's a great Big Brother player. That he's run the game, but he, in terms of like facts, like he is not book smart at all.
At all.
We explored this quite a bit on the slop this week.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That this is. Let me just say real quick. Okay, this was a segment that we did on the slop where we talk about the nonsense. That Cody has never heard of. That if you are from a state, that what word they would call somebody from that state. So, Serena, what state are you from originally?
New York. So I'd be a New Yorker. Yeah.
Well, Cody, actually, that's the only one he believes in.
That one.
That happens to be the only one he believes in. But if
should have asked me, Rob. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Kentucky.
Yes. Yes.
He doesn't believe in the Kentuckian.
Yes. Okay. Listen. Let me just play this live feed. Clip.
Okay. Let me hear it.
Carolinian in America.
How have you never heard this? Like, because
I'm an
it's not
American
official.
you've never, Carolinian.
Wait, like you've never heard of I'm Texan?
No, like somebody's not. A Texan is an animal.
Okay. All right. Look.
What?
Bless his
How
heart.
did I not hear this?
What
I don't
animal is
listen to
that?
whenever they're talking about nonsense, I usually move on to another channel.
At this point, that's all we have, Brent.
Thanks for the support, Brent. Yeah.
Oh my god. He's
But
such an idiot.
okay.
I mean, I really didn't think he was that dumb. Like, that's dumb.
I mean,
You're an animal?
the zing
Mhm.
is accurate. Like
Yeah.
he didn't miss the mark on this one. It's just the low hanging fruit.
Now, Brent, let me just ask you: when Nicole in the diary room says that when I told Cody I was a pescatarian, that he thought I was talking about a religion. First off, is any of this true? Is this just shtick?
Red
First of
flag.
all,
Is-
how am I supposed to know? When I heard
Does
this-
Nicole only eat fish?
I think I saw ham in that spaghetti salad that she. So
What is
Yeah.
that?
I don't
Again,
think that she's a pescatarian.
I know that Nicole will never tell a mistruth in the diary room.
I hate lying.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
know
but
this. Yes.
the woman does not only eat fish.
Well, look, listen, see, here's the funny part. I was listening to this segment like from the kitchen, and I heard her say this, and I thought she said, Cody heard me say Presbyterian, and he thought it was a religion. And I'm like, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I was so off base.
Okay.
I knew I didn't hear it right. Now it makes sense.
Okay. Then we get to Danny and Jenny. I know that in the preseason we talked about Danny, and you said you were going to change your Instagram profile to a Danny Stan account, and you were going to drag anybody who said anything bad about Danny.
Don't
I haven't
recall
kept up
saying
with your Instagram. How has that been going?
I have not posted on my Instagram at all. So
Oh.
I'll tell you how that's going.
Yeah, I thought this one was just mean. You look like an old pro in your first season, and now you just look old.
It also isn't accurate. Like
Not accurate at all. She looks as
She's-
good as she ever did.
she's the same age as me. She does not look old. Like at all. If
Yeah.
anything, if you're going to make an old joke about Danny, if you're going to make a joke, she's one of the more OG players on the season. We've seen her grow up through the show. Like, at least attack her terrible, grandma's Afghan sweater.
Seriously.
Say something about how she dresses old, at least, which
She does
might
dress old. Yes.
actually make sense. But she's
Pastels
like,
and paisleys. Yeah.
she's got like incredible skin. She looks young
Yeah.
for 34.
She should have
in my
gone after.
opinion.
They should have gone after the fact that she married like a younger man from her second season of Big Brother. Like there's a joke somewhere in there.
I
that-
mean, if they wanted to go real savage, and I'm not
Let's
saying
hear it.
that.
I
No,
wanna
but
hear
I'm
a
just
zing.
saying. I'm just saying, like they could have done something with like her being the villain of the season and being her father's daughter. Like if they
Yes.
wanted to go
Because she
real
knows that.
savage.
Yes.
Like there's definitely material to work with. I just felt like it was just such a misfire. Like, and it didn't make a lot of sense. She's not the oldest looking person in the house. She's not the oldest person in the house. She doesn't act the oldest in the house. Memphis. So that was one of the weakest ones for me. And I think that they could have done better.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Christmas. Oh, they got Christmas pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Christmas and the holiday season? One is cold, stress-inducing, and annoying, and the other is the holiday season.
What's that face she makes?
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Here, Serena, give that to us one more time, just in case anybody.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is that her mugshot?
Maybe we'll get the side by side. But I thought actually that Tyler had the best reaction to the Christmas sing in the diary room.
We have to live with Christmas after this, Zingbot. Shut up! Christmas literally has like a pistol tattooed on her hip, man. You do not want to make her mad.
Oh, okay. You guys are all going to pay for that comment.
Who is gonna pay?
Why is she threatening the house guest?
Threatening the house guest with violence.
Yeah, threaten the house. Where's the change.org petition? Threaten the house.
Guys, the feeds are down. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Feeds are down.
Well,
she Chef Joed Willie Hand someone.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Kevin, they mailed it in for Kevin.
I didn't even hear
I
what
think they
that
said
was.
something like we like had a nickname for you that has a ring to it. Boring.
It was so weak sauce.
Oh.
You missed
Yeah.
Enzo, which
Enzo. Enzo. Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
what's more
also
pathetic than
kind
a
of-
grown man calling himself meow meow? Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
I love it. That was like the epitome of like a not joke. It's like
Yeah.
like
It was-
the punchline was just nothing.
It was like a huge wind up to like just like drop the ball.
yeah.
Yeah, but I did learn. I had forgotten that his name was Vincenzo because I always just call him Enzo or
Yeah.
the meow meow. Yeah, Vincenzo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
mean-
I'm down with that.
And it was right there for Enzo when Danny and Enzo were practicing the zings.
Enzo, you have hemorrhoids.
You have hemorrhoids.
That would have been a better zing. Like, no, you don't even have to add anything to it. Like Enzo, you have hemorrhoids would have been better. No explanation, no follow up. You have hemorrhoids.
Oh,
That would have been a
God.
better zing.
Okay. All right. So we will get to you're boring. Then for Tyler, they said, Tyler, what do you call someone that says the real winner gets the girl and not the money? A liar.
Yeah. So take that, and of
I
course
thought
he's
they were
like,
just gonna say a loser.
yeah, that's what I should have
That
said.
makes more sense.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could go with either.
Yeah, loser
Yeah.
would have been more fun and more accurate, to be honest, because he's not lying. I mean, he may not be correct, but he's not
Yeah.
intentionally lying about that. I think he actually believes that, and good for him. You know,
Mhm.
change love forever. Yay!
Tyler is definitely not doing Zingbot's podcast. Let's just say
No.
that.
Just
No.
saying. All he had to do was be nice, Jenny.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm,
saying.
yes. So,
It's not his brand, but
yeah,
he
come on,
could've- he
Zingbot.
could have tried for once.
Okay. All right. Davonne, you did 3 seasons of Big Brother and 2 seasons of The Challenge. What reality show do you plan to lose next? Davonne said, hey, I almost won the challenge.
Yes.
Come on, Zingbot.
She made the final episode.
yeah.
I wouldn't say she was close, but
But like they have like 8 people on final episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
know.
like, yeah.
Karina, were you surprised to hear Big Brother acknowledge the challenge? Is that a first?
Yes, that was fun. I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" I'm in an alternate universe. I thought it
Yeah.
was just like
Mhm.
backwards universe from the challenge. I
Mhm.
like that one.
yeah, it was
Okay.
like
Because-
a cross-pollination synergy. Jenny.
Usually it's acknowledged the other side, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
never see Big
Yeah, they're
Brother
too good to
acknowledge
it.
the other
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
They give the people away to those shows, and I think this is one of the first times that we've gotten them back. Because I don't think that we've ever had someone from Big Brother go to another show like Survivor or The Challenge and then come back and acknowledge it.
Okay.
Besides Davonne.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we get to Nicole, and they knew they were saving the best for last. Nicole was hiding. Does Nicole I'd love to try to get inside the mind of Nicole Franzel. Serena, does she know that, like, okay, is she actually like that I doesn't want this, or is it like, okay, I know how to like get the attention here?
She has to. I mean, she for sure knows she has an accent, and then she has to know that what it sounds like. I mean, she has ears, and she was on television, so she must have watched at least a clip or two. But I don't think that her talking like this actually makes any difference in her whininess.
Yeah. Serena, I was very glad to hear that Nicole was self-aware enough that when she said, "I'm not talking like this anymore," I don't want to be annoying. Oh my God,
Exactly.
that's annoying. Like, I'm like, God, thank God you acknowledged that you sounded annoying for just a moment. That was progress, Nicole.
Okay, well, let's hear the zing. Here's the Zingbot
right.
serenading Nicole.
Here comes the bride. She loves to whine and cry. Every time I hear her voice, I want to
Okay, hold on a second. What was on the end of that? He sings the song and then says, "Did the Zingbot say Mazel Tov Zing?"
Yeah. Oh, Tov Zing. Okay.
I was like, I mean, I believe that it actually was over Rosh Hashanah when they had the Zingbot. But
is she Jewish?
I don't believe so. I don't think I believe she said she's a pescatarian.
So weird.
It just seems like that was a very odd thing for the Zingbot to throw out there.
Maybe.
I guess, Jenny, the question is the Zingbot Jewish?
I mean, we have no reason to think he isn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a new layer to the Zingbot story that we hadn't gotten before. And I honestly think that could have been a more interesting theme than Tiger Zing. So get a little bit more about Zingbot's faith over the holiday.
Yeah. I don't know.
Would have been more relevant, I think.
So I don't know that maybe the Zingbot is like has some sort of legacy in like sort of like the Catskills comedy scene from the 50s. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Maybe more on the Zingbot down the road. Maybe we'll find out more of the backstory. Okay. So then we get to the actual competition. Okay, Brett, here's what I want to know. In the competition, Memphis said everybody throw it. We have a fly going on over there?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there is everybody's running around. Nicole tells us in the diary room about how she is trying to win this veto.
I'm feeling really guilty about what happened last week with the votes and Davonne, so I would love to take Davonne off the block.
Okay, true or false, Brent?
True. Yes.
She wanted to take Davonne off the block?
Yes. Well, because they also knew that his plan was to backdoor David. So like they kill two birds with one stone. They allow Memphis to fulfill his plan to backdoor David. And she also gets to pay Davonne back and make herself feel a little bit better. Nicole, I'm talking about the fact that she betrayed Davonne in the previous week with the Ian vote. Like, I think she really does feel bad about the fact that she made Davonne look like a fool after she said that she would not do that to her.
Okay. I mean, I think that would be like getting a lot of blood on her hands to after Memphis said don't win it.
Yeah, but they think that he's being dumb anyway, because like, what does it matter if they win? If they do what he wants with the veto, what does it matter? Like that's where they're coming from. So like once they have the veto, like then they can just do what they want. They can get a little bit of credibility for it. They don't want, like, at least we'll say this about Nicole too. She recognizes that in modern day Big Brother, you have to have a few competition wins on your resume, and she has none right now. So she really needs to pick up the pace.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, that said, I think that if Memphis hadn't said, okay, I want you guys to throw the veto, I'm backdooring David, I don't think that Nicole is trying to save Davonne under those circumstances.
I
It was
agree.
a very convenient situation where, Memphis wants the veto used so that he can put up David. And also, first of all, this isn't the first time that Nicole has been less than honest in the diary room to
How dare
preserve
you,
her
Jenny?
image. I'm
How dare you?
just
I hate
saying.
lying.
She hates it, but she's a little good at it. I really think that also Nicole recognizes that she was very aware of how fans would feel about her for voting out Ian, and I think that she understands that the concept of her saving Davonne could be very popular. She's concerned about how she appears, and so I don't think that she would have done it if Memphis was saying, I want the noms to say the same.
I agree.
She was definitely using this opportunity to say, like, if I get the veto, I'm going to save Davonne because I feel bad about what I've done.
Yeah, Serena, I was gonna ask, does Memphis sort of like have the same sort of like authority of like a substitute teacher in the Big Brother house, where he's like sort of telling like all the kids, all right, everybody, you're all gonna throw the veto today. That's just throw it to me. Don't even try, and then I'll get the veto, and then I'll score the winning touchdown, and then it'll be awesome.
The winning touchdown. I don't know if you know about substitute teachers, but yeah, I think that. And then Danny's like standing on the desk and is like, "Yeah, actually, our real teacher lets us stand on the desk with our shoes on all the time." So
yeah, I don't care. I'm just
we
here
don't
for today.
we don't really care if you tell her because like she already knows that we're gonna do this. So
Whatever, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care.
And he's eating beef jerky while he's
yeah, that was so funny.
He's walking around with a bag of beef jerky, threatening people the whole episode.
Tyler was talking to him like, all right, Tyler, in my office, come on, get in here. It's like, yeah, I just don't think we should use the veto. I'm like, no, I already said we should. Yeah, but Danny and Nicole, they I feel like you're right, there's something weird going on there. All right, whatever.
Well,
David, Davonne, it doesn't matter to me.
He didn't. I mean, like at this point, he had been told that like Tyler didn't want to use the veto, and like he quickly got on board with the fact that his alliance was not willing to backdoor David. Like they saw David as expendable at this point, and they want to get rid of either Kevin or Davonne, namely Davonne. That's what it seems like to me that they want to do.
Yeah. Davonne is upset after the veto competition.
She's
that
wrong again. Yes.
that Tyler wins. She's like, you see, I knew it.
Nope.
And she feels that the whole thing after Memphis walks out of the room, she says that that the whole thing was bull.
She Even when I know it's coming, I still laugh. Just the beauty of the soundboard.
Yes. It's so frustrating too, because like she's thinking that she's solved another puzzle, that she's like, I knew it. Like, I knew they weren't telling the truth from the moment that I heard about this crazy harebrained scheme to backdoor David. I knew it was too good to be true. But the fact of the matter is, it is true. Like, that is what Memphis wanted to do. He did want to backdoor David.
He's that bad of a player.
Yeah. Like,
Believe
I
it or
mean,
not.
her reads just, man, like, go back to the library. Like, they're terrible. Like, well, what is she doing?
Yeah. Okay. So Memphis and Tyler, they have their talk, and then Memphis ends up coming around. We get to the veto meeting, and Kevin is, he saes nothing, but it's inoffensive. And then Davonne gets up there to give her speech, and she really goes kind of scorched earth on the house about Tyler. All right, Davonne, let me hear your speech. Why should I use the veto on you?
So I'm gonna cut. This plan has been in motion for a while. It started back when you were used to put Bailey up here. I knew it was a matter of time before you, or even you, would be in a position to take a shot at me or Kevin. I'm not gonna ask you to use the veto. I know you're not gonna use it. At this point, whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong
about that part.
About that last part. About the last part. It would have been great.
The conclusion.
If she maybe she tried to like reverse psychology Tyler, like, oh yeah, well you'll see, I am going to use the veto on you.
That's what Ika did. She told Kevin from Big Brother Canada, take that veto and shove it up your and then he said, I'm going to use the veto on you. So,
okay.
If only it always worked that way.
I know, right?
Can you just explain what does Davonne mean when she talks about how they used Tyler for Bailey?
This plan has been in motion for a while. It started back when you were used to put Bailey up here. I knew it was a matter of time.
Yeah,
you were
about Christmas.
Oh, she was pointing to Christmas. I was
Yeah.
saying Tyler.
Yeah. She's talking about Christmas being used, but I'm sure Christmas did not feel good about having like she's like, you don't even know what's happening, Davonne. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I'm not being used for anything.
Christmas was pissed. And she's having a great week, okay, Davonne?
Davonne really thinks that she knows what's going on in this house. However, she has no idea, which is why she ended up on the block. But I'm having an amazing week, so much so that I don't have to use my blocker power, and I'm letting it expire.
This confirms.
Okay, I mean, if that's the bar for a great week. I mean, I didn't use it. I mean, just
that's just Big Brother. Big Brother's just doing a little cleanup there. They're letting us know that the power's expired and it's out of play, and it's another flop power. Can you just rig it next time, Big Brother? Can you just like let us vote on who we want? It's an all-star season. I cannot believe, Rob, and honestly, I do not understand how in an all-star season they didn't say, might be a good idea to let America have a choice at some point about who they want to sit on the block, who they want to save, who they want to punish. We've got none of that. Now, maybe this neighbor twist will have something to do with it, but unfortunately, the way the season's gone, there's like literally no one to root for at this point. So I'm not even sure I really care about the neighbor unless you can save Davonne.
Okay. Tyler had some harsh words for Memphis that Memphis tried to tell Tyler what to do. Tyler had alternative plans.
I know you always want to be the alpha, but I'm nobody's beta.
Lies.
Whoa.
Lies.
Angela's beta.
Lies. He is Angela's beta, and nobody can tell me different. So moving on.
Yeah. Boy, Jenny, not since it was Cody BB19 have we heard about the alphas and the betas in the Big Brother house.
Yeah, he's not telling Paisley to be not to be a beta. It's he's saying I'm not a beta, just like Paisley, Cody's daughter. Not a beta.
Yeah.
Sure, Tyler. You're pushing Angela's cookbook in your eviction speech. But yeah, okay.
Come on.
You're not a beta.
Yeah, come on.
Got
Jenny.
you, boo.
Yes. Okay. We do have a little bit of breaking news by way of the chat.
Yes.
Breaking news are happening now.
Okay. The Big Brother live feeds will be back tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks for your patience.
So no big.
Okay.
We don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens when they come back on.
Like I think the neighbor twist thing is out. I mean, maybe something's happened, and maybe Devon and Kevin are no longer on the block anymore, or something's weird happened with the nominations. But I don't think they would. Like, if that were true, I think they would leave the feeds off until tomorrow.
So,
night.
Based on that, the feeds are going to be back. Serena, which of the theories do you think is the accurate one?
I have a new theory.
Oh, yes?
I think Christmas broke her foot.
Oh my God, we can only hope.
She's having a great week, Serena.
This time she cannot.
Is over.
This time she cannot vote from her hospital bed. This time they're going to get rid of her so that we can keep Devon and
no
Kevin.
camera crew in the hospital room because of COVID. Sorry.
Jenny, if Christmas lived in Canada, did you think that she'd be less likely to have foot problems by not wearing shoes?
Yeah, less height to roll an ankle, probably. If you're barefoot, you have like a better grip, maybe. I don't know. I think that, in this case, if Christmas breaks her foot again, maybe we can think that the best she can possibly do is third, which might be great news for some of you.
Yeah.
Because I tweeted about it. I was a little heated the other night, and a Memphis Christmas final 2. If that feels and sounds so rough. So if Christmas is going on down the BB19 trajectory, I can handle third place.
Okay.
Not that I'm wishing injury on anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not either. Look, I'll say this: she's played an okay game. I mean, she's played an above average game. I'll put it like that. She's played pretty well. She's had some some people that were naturally willing to work with her, and they weren't willing to work with other people. So there's that, and also Memphis, I will say, has played well. He's there have been times where I didn't think his old school game would fit into the Big Brother allure, but it has. And if he gets to the end of the game, at least, Jenny, I can see his path. Like, I understand.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, at least
Prepare
I understand.
yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and this is what I'm saying is we're getting to the point where we're getting ready to say goodbye to Davonne. We're having to adjust our expectations, and basically wait for the committee to dissolve in some and how that plays out. And for me personally, I need to adjust my expectations and my rooting interest to something that's a little bit more realistic. And for me personally, even if I think that they're playing a good game, for my personal hopes, I would like to not see Memphis or Christmas in those final 2 chairs.
Who are you rooting for? I'd like to know.
Who am I rooting for?
Yeah, besides Davonne, yeah. If you could pick anybody else that's remaining in the final 2 chairs, who would it be?
Ugh.
See, I went through this yesterday.
Here's the thing is a want and can accept are different things.
Want.
I don't really want. I think here's the thing. Cody is definitely playing a great game. Nicole is playing a good. It seems so obvious and boring. Cody and Nicole final 2, but
hey, I have both of them in the draft, Jenny.
Well. At this point, we have to find the silver linings, Rob.
Yes.
So, and I support you in that.
Brent?
Enzo would be great. Yeah.
Enzo and Danny in the final 2, which I don't think there's a way for that to happen.
Yeah.
But if it was Enzo and Danny, I would be very cool with that.
I'm just worried about maybe when the feeds come back, that I just hope that maybe Enzo wasn't medically evacuated.
Enzo, you have hemorrhoids.
You have hemorrhoids.
I don't know. I don't know.
Unlikely.
You wonder why he jumped with the whole bidet thing. Everybody just seems everything makes so much more sense now.
Ew.
Okay. There's David.
David's in my draft. So
what about Kevin? Kevin?
I
have him in the draft too.
To root for an underdog, but
he's such a terrible underdog.
He's under the underdog, I feel like.
Yeah,
if he won, you'd be mad, Brent?
No, I wouldn't be mad. Kevin's a good guy. It's just he's played a really
down and out
shabby
now.
game.
But if he goes on a run, you'll be loving him.
Yeah,
if
but
he
I don't think
the HOH tomorrow night puts Cody and Enzo on the
if
block.
that happened, I'd be living.
Oh, you'll stand him.
I would. Yes.
Okay.
But if he does that, there's no way he's winning. He's gonna. Let me tell you this: the path for Kevin to win the game is to go away, and so for real, don't do anything. Don't win HOH. That'd be the worst thing, because if he puts Cody and Tyler up on the block, or Cody and Enzo, then one of them's going to go probably, and then everybody's going to come after him the following week.
Yeah.
So no, he needs to go to sleep, pray to God that they go after Danny and or Christmas, and there's some crossfire there, and eventually they forget about David and Kevin, and he's able to make a run at this and
you
get
just
to
have
final
to
5.
Think about this, Brent. You're not thinking about it fourth dimensionally of that. If if it's the status quo, then yeah, it'll be boring. But if somebody is able to sort of flip this around and never take a shot at somebody, you'll be loving that person.
I said last night that Taryn has been telling me this for 5 freaking weeks, and Melissa called the evictions of all the people that we know and love, and they're on their way out the door. And so I am being tested at the moment, Rob. That I am mad because Taryn keeps filling me with hope, and hope keeps being dashed every time.
Yeah.
I will say I would be down for Danny realizes that the house is crashing in on her, and maybe she has a brush with death, and she wins a veto and gets herself off the block, and has some sort of
and rains holy hell down
revenge tour type
Yes.
thing where she wakes the F up and
unites
realizes
with Kevin. That's the thing.
That could be cool.
Kevin and Danny don't know that they need each other right now. They
Oh,
really
absolutely.
don't.
Yeah.
See? Look, we don't know. We don't know.
We just have to adjust our expectations at this point, guys.
Oh, we continue
and
to.
keep doing it. Keep going
forever and ever until the finale.
Okay. Do we have questions here? I see that looks like that I see what Scott is giving me something. What is this that Scott is showing us here? Looks like that this is a picture of the backyard, and quick observation. It seems that the neighbor moving in could be closer than expected, like right in the backyard.
So yelling over the yelling over the fence.
But when was that screenshot from? Like that looks exactly like where Zingbot was, right? So
Okay.
like that's probably just the door that Zingbot came out of.
Possible. We'll see. Maybe
what
we
did
could just
Gina
be
Marie say in response to that? That's awesome.
Is that what you
That was the response underneath.
Yeah, look, when we're bracing for what did Gina Marie say, I'm always going to be sphincter clenched.
Oh, God.
And okay, all right. But what it might be then is that we built that for the Zingbot, but may also use it for the neighbor. Although, Serena, was that like your neighborhood where the neighbor had like sort of a patio, like looking over the backyard?
Yeah, we kind of shared a fence, and they didn't like that our fence was on our yard and not the entire of their yard. It's those neighbors. We didn't like them.
Okay. All right. Robot Taryn says, if Zingbot was on Book Cameo, how much would you be willing to pay for a video? I would say don't waste your money on the Zingbot. Book a cameo with Reem Daily. I think it's like $20, and she will rip whoever a new one. Yeah.
And so you have hemorrhoids.
He didn't before he got a cameo from Reem Daily. Okay. Oh, God. Let's take another question. Susan says, I think that Memphis and Cody need to be sure if they make the final two, history doesn't repeat themselves. Shouldn't they be trying to drag a Kevin or David with them? No, I mean, that history won't repeat itself for one of them.
Yeah, no,
they both won't lose.
I mean, they're not trying to drag a Kevin or a David. They're trying to drag a Christmas. That's Memphis's whole deal. He wants to drag a Christmas with him and try to make a run at the final three that way. So
yeah, and Cody would win so easy against Memphis.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this jury's kind of funky. I agree with Taryn that I don't know necessarily that they're just gonna auto award the win.
I think it really just depends on how we get from this point to
they
the Cody Memphis final two.
They talk about Cody in such a way like there's no animosity towards Memphis. Like okay.
I don't think they like him.
Yeah, they don't love him.
Especially
but
Danny.
There's not like hate and consternation like it comes from Kevin, where he's like, Cody walks around like he's the king of the castle, and but they I feel like Memphis is more that way, but they don't talk about Memphis in that way. You know what I mean? So I feel like they would give Memphis more credit because he's actually put in the work and he's.
But that's one person who has like negative things to say about him. I feel like that everybody else is totally in love with Cody.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Let's take a question from the great Susanna, who says, what was your favorite Zing of the year? Do you think that the Zingbot did Joe Exotic justice? No,
not even close. And neither did the house guest while we're at it. Davonne, what the hell were you doing running around that maze and jumping out of your skin at a stuffed animal? Wait, she wasted time during
Did she throw it? Did Davonne throw it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she's just like having fun, which cool, but maybe try to win. Although to be fair to her, like her jumping for like 2 seconds wasn't gonna lose her the competition when she put up 6 minutes and change or something. So whatever.
Serena, do you think that Joe Exotic himself was probably pumped up that they did a Tiger Zing veto?
Like I said, I haven't watched. So is he the one in jail? Or
Yes.
the one...
Yes.
He's in jail, yes.
Do you think they watch Big Brother in jail?
Honestly, CBS is on like one of the channels that everybody gets. So he could be watching. I think he would
they probably
love
don't
it.
get Netflix. I think they probably do get CBS.
Yeah, I think Joe's loving it.
They could have at least put like a shirt on Zingbot that was like more in the spirit of Tiger King. It was so yeah. I didn't even notice the mustache.
I didn't notice it either. Yeah,
Jenny, do you think that this is to directly compete with Carol Baskin being on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, they're fighting over who is going to be more embarrassing at the outdated cultural reference. Like who
Big Brother win.
They did poorly, but I mean, Dancing with the Stars does have Carol Baskin dancing to What's Up Pussycat, so
oh no. for real?
I'm pretty sure that's what she danced to last night.
Sounds like real news. Yeah. Not fake news.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's a question from Richard D. This was one of the theories earlier tonight. Here's a photo of Davonne saying it's all going down on the new Big Brother 22. Richard says, does this tweet look to anyone else that the eviction has already happened and that's why the feeds have been down? This shot of Davonne. Have we ever caught Davonne wearing this outfit? This does not look like it's in the Big Brother house.
Isn't that her press day outfit?
Was there a press
Well,
day?
Isn't that what she's? Isn't
Yeah,
that
go check
yellow
it
off the shoulder shirt? What she's wearing in her cast photo?
It seemed very sloppy if they evicted Davonne and then took a picture of her and then tweeted it out.
I think they just always do these lazy tweets to pump up for the episode when they've not had tweets on for almost feeds on for 24 hours. So I think it's unrelated.
Yeah. Okay. We're not buying that one. Okay.
Fake news.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Rat says, did Nicole pretend she wanted this one for the cameras, but actually throw it since she wants a day out? Brent said no. She actually was going for it. Sorry about that, Rat Boy 74. Yes. Okay.
Sorry about that, Rat Boy.
Mr. Roybot
That's so
says,
bizarre. I have a Rat Boy who's like a fan of mine and keeps telling me like I'm looking good these days.
What a humble brag.
I know, right? Well, no, like it's
Look
like
at you.
But it's Rat Boy 73 or 72. Like how many are there?
I too have a Rat Boy.
Really?
I want a Rat Boy.
Sorry.
Sorry, that was a little humble.
Maybe
braggy.
Rat Boy 75, Serena.
That's a good number, 75.
Okay, Mr. Roybot says, who do you think that the neighbor legend is going to be since it clearly isn't the Zingbot? Okay, do you want to lock in with a prediction for tomorrow night?
I'm locking in with Rachel Riley. Giving labor or going into labor, and
she will
2 neighbors.
Okay.
2 neighbors.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have an OBGYN on standby.
OBZYN and it's Zingbot.
Yeah. An OVGYN.
An OBGYN.
And he like shows up in the camp comeback outfit. I don't know why. Just
hey guys.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm here to deliver a baby.
Who's ready for labor?
Okay. All right, Jenny, what's your pick?
Sorry, I'm stuck thinking about how everyone like calls Christmas like Labor Day sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Davonne called it
Halloween. Could
Flag
get
Day.
Labor Day.
Flag Day. Yeah, that's my favorite. Flag Day is having a day today.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, Serena already said Rachel. I think that given Rachel's willingness to be a part of the season,
She really wanted to.
the
too.
local aspect makes a lot of sense, but let's I don't know. Let's feed the people something that they're clamoring for. Let's just say that maybe it's Janelle.
Janelle. Okay.
I don't think it is. I think Rachel is way more likely.
I think it's Rachel. Let's just go 3 for 3. I think it's Rachel Riley. She wanted to come back. She wanted to play this season. This at least gets her into the house. I'm sure she can have a little fun, taking a few digs here and there, like subtly at some people that she wants to take a few shots at.
Yeah.
And it's like the best of both worlds for Rachel. She gets to stop by, get seen on television, look like the BB royalty that she is, and get out while the getting's good before the season really gets terrible.
Okay. I'll say Will. I'll say Will.
Right.
But we'll see. I don't know that usually they use them for the jury roundtable, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do a jury roundtable this season. So maybe they'll use him here in this spot. He also doesn't have any sort of like beef with anybody that's in the cast or anything like that. It wouldn't be like an unfair advantage where just seeing Rachel Riley will be so triggering for Nicole Franzel. Like she will have a complete meltdown. She will not be able to function. She'll be in the fetal position. And
that's what we want.
Well, yeah.
Is this possibly the reason why the feeds have been down for so long? Did Rachel come to the neighbor house and the preceding meltdown from Nicole, threatening to quit, threatening to walk? She's got Allison Grodner in the DR saying, listen, I arranged this cast. I did not agree to an appearance of Rachel Riley. This could possibly explain why we've had no feeds for so long. Nicole has lost her she is.
She is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's possible. We'll see. Okay.
I need an explanation. We have to wait till 1 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. All right. We have some more questions. Let's see. What else do we have? And then let's see. Do we have anything from the live feeds to talk about, Brent? Anything from the last couple days?
I mean, no, not really. Here's the thing. The show didn't really allude to it, but we have so far been alluding to it that one of the two house guests is definitely on their way out.
But we don't. But we have the show has been not on for 24 hours. You don't know. You don't know.
I mean the live. Yeah, the live. Yeah. Feeds. I mean, as far as I knew, the last time I saw the live feeds, it looked as though Davonne was on her way out, and she knows it. So that's where we're at right now. And in fact, I think it's going to be a unanimous vote. I don't think she's going to get any votes because everybody knows what's happening. I think that Danny wanted to save her. Danny was certain that they could save her and vote Kevin out if the veto wasn't used, and the veto wasn't used, obviously. And then when she tried to do it, she realized that she was getting nowhere and quickly got on board with the plan that everyone else already had decided. And I don't think she much liked that. I am hoping the fact that she realizes that she did what Cody wanted last week in getting Ian out. And now this week she asked Cody, hey, can you give me this one? Can we keep Davonne? He's not giving that to her. I'm hoping she wakes the F up, but I don't know if she's gonna.
Serena, what are the chances that when the feeds come back on, Davonne could be favored to stay?
I don't know. I'm not a gambler.
She needs Cody on her side if she's gonna stay.
And he's kind of calling all the shots, even if not everybody knows it. So I don't. And especially with she doesn't want to campaign against Kevin. She doesn't want to
bullshit. She doesn't want to give him the satisfaction. That's the other thing, Rob, that was basically left out of the veto meeting is that she said that she's not going to give them the satisfaction. Those three guys, Cody, Tyler, Enzo. She's not campaigning to them. She doesn't want their votes. She's going to hang her hat on these other 4 people and try to get their votes. She thinks they're a lost cause, but they're not. If she went to Cody and said, you know what, Cody, I'm on your side. I know that Kevin told me that if he wins HOH, he's putting you and Nicole up on the block. Period. End of story. Cody does not like to be talked about being nominated. If she did that, I think that there's a chance he could flip, and that's all she would need because with Cody, Danny, David, and Nicole would all like to keep Davonne. That's all she would need right there. But she's unwilling to even make the efforts to try.
Okay. All right, let's take a couple more questions. Let's check in with Jacob Kramer. I don't recall that there were ever multiple house guest choice chips in the box. What's the deal with that? How many are there? Jenny, do we know how many house guest choice chips go in the bag?
I mean, at least 2. I would assume.
Are there 3?
I would assume there's 3 because I think that it should be conceivable that all 3 people could draw a house guest choice. So I think you've got everyone in the house in there that isn't already up there, and then 3 house guest choice.
Yeah, listen, they have taken the chips out of the bag before. The chat is reminding me that Ian said 3 as far as like a house guest choice chips. And Ian knows what he's talking about when it comes to Big Brother. So
it makes sense if there's 3 people choosing from the bag to have 3. It just so happens that it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we have a question from Derek, who says, so basically Day or Kevin is being evicted because they believe that David voted to evict Ian, which led to neither of them picking him to play in the veto. That's something. I mean, I don't think that's the exact
really
reason why.
It didn't help. They could have picked David. David could have won this. David would have used the veto on one of them if he had it. And they just made a bad call. Davonne has been giving Nicole the benefit of the doubt all week long. Multiple times, Kevin has gone to her and said to Davonne and said, hey, could we be wrong about this? Could David actually be on our side? Is it Nicole that's lying to us? She was upset after Ian was out of the house. She was crying when after she voted. It seems like might be something here, Davonne. And Davonne is like, nope. She's like, I'll ask her. And he's like, well, she's not going to tell you. She's like, yeah, but I'll ask her. And so she asked her. And the body language Nicole was giving Davonne was so bad, Jenny. So bad. She didn't want to be there in that room. She did not want to talk about that. And Davonne, who's known for her reads, couldn't even see it. She was Stevie Wonder.
I mean, it's potentially, affected by the fact that the person telling the truth is doing also a terrible job. So the difference between the truth and the lie is like the same sort of performance. So it makes it a little difficult.
Let's just look ahead to tomorrow, Jenny. And I would love to know that, do you think tomorrow night when we are seeing the house guests alive, will at that point Davonne know that Nicole was the vote to evict Ian and not David?
I think it really depends on what this twist is.
The twist.
Because I think that, Julie loves talking about the committee. In her little exit interview with the evicted house guests on the stage. So if Davonne is evicted tomorrow and there is no twist that could potentially involve her, then maybe we get that. If the twist
from Julie,
there is the chance that Nicole comes clean in a goodbye message.
Yes,
I don't know
that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't think that she says anything up until that point. I don't think that Nicole has it in her to have that confrontation before Davonne's already out of the house and she can't say anything else to blow up her game. So I think if Nicole does address it, it would be in the goodbye message, but it might come up with just Julie.
Well, my question is that, Serena, do we think that the wall yeller has gotten them that information?
Oh boy.
Do you think that they already will they already know this going into the eviction?
If that's like the reason that the feeds have been down, potentially. I'm just like I'm not sure what everything that's been said so far, and what all the house guests believe at this point because it's been so often. But I don't know if I don't know if it would matter that much as far as what Davonne thinks. I feel like either way, she's going to be pissed sitting in jury. And that's a problem for Nicole.
Yeah. Okay. And Brent, you think that we'll get it in the way of a goodbye message?
Yeah, that's what they were planning on doing. Danny realized that Davonne was really putting a lot of stock in this, that they need to clean it up in their goodbye messages. Otherwise, they may not have a chance of getting her jury vote. So I think they're going to try to clean it up in the goodbye messages. And I wouldn't want to be on that stage with Davonne when she learns that she's been had by Nicole again.
Hey, Devon, I just want to let you know that I was in an alliance and we were the votes that voted against Ian last week, and it wasn't David. So I just want to let you know, and you're still awesome, and I can't wait to see you outside of the house.
You're invited to my wedding.
Yeah.
It's now $6,000.
Yeah. And remember, I gave you that $5,000 earlier in the season, so I guess we're even.
Yeah.
Spend it.
With that $5,000, she got mileage out of that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else that we want to talk about for Big Brother 22?
No.
All right. Well, let's talk about what else is going on robhasawebsite.com. Check this out. The Purple Pants podcast is back. Check out what Bryce had to say this week. I believe that he talked extensively with Amon, who's been everywhere this week, about everything going on in this Big Brother season. You can catch Amon on the Secret Alliance podcast this week, also with Daniel Reyes and Jason Guy. So check out the Purple Pants podcast with Bryce Isaiah this week.
That's so cool. I didn't realize that Amon got to talk with Jason and Danielle. Somehow I missed that. Yeah.
It's up on YouTube and on podcast form. Then last night, it was the LFC roundtable. I told you Brent was shot out of a cannon last night.
Yes, me and Melissa both were. Yeah. We had some stuff to say about this season. We were very frustrated with the season, and we let people know it. And Taryn made us feel better, which he's good at. And, we got through it.
I thought you were going to say Taryn made you feel bad.
No,
I thought Taryn did make you feel bad at the part where that he said that, hey, don't tell me I'm not allowed to like the season.
Oh, no, that part was, I did feel for Taryn in that moment, because Taryn like evaluates entertainment and Big Brother through a different lens than I certainly do. And I don't want to, his feelings are valid as well. So
you're like, Taryn, this season sucks. And it's like, well, it's still Big Brother to me.
Yeah, exactly. So I try to, I certainly have empathy for him on that front. But through the rest of the podcast, when we were a little down about the way the things have been boring, it's not necessarily that our faves are leaving. That is certainly an aspect to it. It's that it's been boring. Like if our faves were leaving and it wasn't boring, like that would be one thing. But like, boy, it has just been such a snooze fest. Like, I can't believe this is All Stars. So, yeah, Taryn did a good job making me feel better. At the end of it, I was like less annoyed with all of these people.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yes. News AF, Danny, Tyson, and myself talked about everything that's going on in the world. Tyson talked about his new audiobook for dogs, and we talked about a new Qantas is doing a 7-hour flight to nowhere. Find out more about that on the latest News AF. And then coming up this weekend, we're gonna do another Talking with T-Bird, and it's the General. T-Bird has found him. He's ready to go. Check out Rob DeCanio, the other Rob from Survivor. We'll check in with the General.
The other Rob.
Yes, you got that. Okay. Love Island recap. Josh Williams joins Kirsten and Brian to talk about it's week 5 of Love Island already. Check that out. What's going on over on Love Island. And then we will have a live feed update tomorrow morning. Taryn, I hope you got your rest today, because feeds are coming back 1 a.m. Eastern. So Taryn will tell us about who was snoring, who got up to go to the bathroom during the night.
Enzo, you have hemorrhoids.
No.
How Enzo's hemorrhoids are.
If anybody wakes up early tomorrow, Taryn will have it all for you tomorrow. I suspect that Taryn may do sort of like a state of the house going into tomorrow morning, but he will be live at 11 a.m. Eastern to get you ready for eviction night. And then tomorrow night, we will check in with Cody and the house guests to see what's going on. It'll be myself, Taryn, Melissa, and Matt Scott live after the eviction. We'll talk about the neighbor twist and much more, everything that's going on after the eviction on Thursday night. And then, of course, robhasawebsite.com/patron, how you can help support everything that's going on here on robhasawebsite.com. Rob has a podcast, all the Big Brother podcasts, and more. Become part of our patron community. And of course, you can be a part of our pregame show tomorrow night, kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be taking your calls live to get ready for the eviction show on Thursday night. And as we're getting towards the end of the month, I used to tell people, hey, if you were going to become a patron, hold off to the start of the month. But now I say, hey, check out the new annual plan for becoming a patron. You pay for 11 months, you get 12, and you don't get charged at the start of the month like you would if you were going to become a patron on a monthly plan starting here at the end of the month of September. Of course, follow us on social media. I'm sure we'll have a lot of clips from tonight's show at Rob Has a Podcast on Twitter, at RHAP Grams on Instagram, and our Facebook page, Rob Has a Podcast. All right. So that's what's going on here tonight. Jenny, any other thoughts?
I mean, what are we doing at this point? You know what? Like, I'm hoping that at least tomorrow night we get something entertaining and unexpected. The feeds have been off for almost 24 hours at this point, and there's going to be some sort of surprise. I actually almost hope that we aren't going to get spoiled overnight in terms of why they've been off. Maybe, production.
When will we find out?
Well, if like in the morning when Taryn does his update, it may be over like 1 a.m. Eastern is only 10 p.m. for Big Brother. They might be awake and talking about what's been going on. And if there's been a Big Brother legend returning, we might hear about it unless production has asked them to not talk about it for whatever reason, if they can actually control that. So I would love something, like Brent has been saying, it's been a lot of expected, hoping for something new to happen, and then it's back to the same thing that we expected. So it would be nice to have some sort of surprise tomorrow night.
Well, just to come full circle, that I don't think that the neighbor twist has happened if the feeds are coming back tonight. That I feel like that if the feeds were down until Thursday night, I would feel like that would be more likely that they would have done the neighbor twist and they want us to be surprised on the TV show. Brent, is that how you feel as well?
I think that, yes, I think that's accurate. Honestly, I'm with you in one of your earlier theories. I think that we had another wall yeller and they just said, F you people, we're going to keep the feeds down for an entire 24 hours and we're going to make you pay.
But what does that solve? Like, they're going to come back on at some point. So, like, what does the punishment solve? Like, people are just going to come back anyway. I don't know that the punishment makes a lot of sense. Like, they could have filmed a segment just like they do with like a veto competition or an HOH or something like that, where, they needed a stretch of time to have the feeds down to do whatever they were doing with this potential twist. And we're not going to actually see it until tomorrow.
Serena, maybe they needed to have an army of guards that are going to be roaming that area now. That's it. We need to put our whole battalion out there.
Big Brother and
all the CBS pages.
And right, yeah, that could happen. I also think maybe it could be maybe related to. I mean, it's been off for a long time, but maybe at the beginning related to the next HOH where they have to practice in the backyard or something like that. But we'll see.
Yeah. Could the ants have gotten so bad, Brent, that they had
That's
to
definitely possible. I mean,
fumigate?
there's always one time a season where the ants just totally take over.
Could be
well, we had an old reference of 6 months ago with Tiger King tonight. The murder hornets were something that we thought were going to be a thing 6 months ago. So perhaps we have some sort of murder ants takeover. in the Big Brother house. They had to, fumigate or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yikes. Okay. All right. Jenny, where can people keep up with you?
You can follow me on social media at Jenny Autumn.
Okay.
Just living my life. It's my birthday on the weekend, and I would
Yes,
love
September
something.
26th.
Yes, I would
Yes.
love something fun to happen over the weekend in Big Brother instead of the disappointment I experience every Saturday
Right.
on Big Brother. So this Saturday, maybe something fun happening with the veto for once. Well, we
Hey,
had Davonne last
I was
week,
gonna
but
say-
let's do something. Let's do something
Jenny,
different. A new
sure,
comp and an exciting result.
Are you with me, Jenny? That last week when Davonne used the veto was the most exciting week. Of
Oh,
Big
it was
Brother
so
All-Stars.
great.
Thank
The
you.
comp was great. It was different. We had an exciting result. We had the veto used in a situation where the person isn't already on the block. That is the height of excitement we have had in the plot of the season. So
I will say that
do it again.
It was either that or Kaser winning the VIP power.
that was pretty,
week.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that felt like 3 years ago at this point.
It's like he did it. Kaser did it. Okay. All right. So Jenny, I look forward to hearing more about the when to wear shoes and when to not wear shoes in Canada.
Not on the bed, that's for sure.
Well, no, it's definitely not standing on the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jenny, we'll talk to you again soon. Okay. Serena, where can people keep up with you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Serena Foster or on Instagram at Let's Go Serena. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Not doing really anything much, but keeping up with Big Brother on Twitter mostly.
Yeah. And what are you doing when you're not following Big Brother?
Right now,
What are your other interests?
right now I'm watching the 100 Baby Challenge on
On Sims? Yeah. That we talked about this a couple of months ago. So you're watching on YouTube and you're watching the Sim. Could you describe the 100 Baby Challenge for Brent? Do you know the 100 Baby Challenge?
I do not.
Okay, so there's one matriarch.
It's not what Christmas had to do earlier this season.
Pretty much one matriarch. She has to have 100 babies, but they all have to have different baby daddies. And then she's gonna age out soon, but so then they'll have to replace the matriarch. But yeah, you have like
Brent, it's like a curse that this is like a terrible thing these Sims characters go through. So the mom has as many babies as she can before she dies, and then Serena, it's the oldest daughter who has to keep up the curse.
Oh my gosh.
That does sound like a nightmare.
She gets laid a lot though, so
All right.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
then she has to carry a baby and then deliver it.
yeah. She has a lot of twins too, so that kind of cuts it in half.
2 birds, 1 stone. There you go.
Okay. All right. And then Brent, where can people keep up with you?
You can find me, as always, at One Lucky Gay across all platforms. I've been trying to update my Instagram more often lately, so you can check me out over there. It's always One Lucky Gay, one spelled out ONE.
And Brent, what are you up to these days when I feel like it's all Big Brother and Sequester for you?
Yeah, that's what it is. Big Brother and Sequester. I'm single. I got a life and I got a job, so
Yeah, I got a tweet earlier tonight that said Brent's hair is a really good length now, and I wrote back. I wrote back and said, "Please keep me posted.
Yes.
Let me know your feelings on Brent's hair moving forward."
Thank you. I have the pictures of me with my old hair, and it was really long. Like it was a piece of work. I'm glad I got it cut.
Okay. All right. There you go, everybody. Thank you for joining us. A little bit of an unconventional episode here tonight. Had a lot of fun talking about the speculation in terms of the feeds. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough what actually caused the Big Brother feeds to go out for 24 hours. We'll find out that and much more on Thursday. Check out Taryn's update, and we'll join you live after the episode. Thanks so much, Scott St. Pierre, behind the scenes. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.